Uh, okay. Hey, hi everyone. We have Niyatii with us, and today we are live at LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. So, very good morning to all of you. And we have gorgeous guest with her, which is Niyatii Shah, one of the very good friend as well as intimacy close. मैं उसका इंट्रो शुरू करती हूँ बट जितना कहा जाए उनके बारे में उतना कम है. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay. So, Aniyati has been mother of two children, a dedicated wife, with very supportive husband and a loving parent. She's also a sexual educator, counselor, author of two books, and TEDx speaker, and more than a decade of experience career, and she has been fortunate to have 55 schools, 350 workshops, wow, and 18,000 families, empowered 55,000 children. I think numbers speaks for itself. And if I remember correctly, Niyati has also written puberty books for children, right? And guys, you should go and check it. It's really workable. I've also purchased for my daughter. So this is exact on what we are looking for. Okay. Coming back to today's topic, हम कोशिश करेंगे ये जितना आसान हो सके बना दे. So we will try to have Hindi as well as English. आज का टॉपिक बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग है, जिसके बारे में ना हम करना जरूर चाहते हैं पर बात करना कोई नहीं चाहता. Any guesses? I think you have guessed it right. Today we're going to talk about a sexual relationship between the couples, and we already have couple of people who's watching us on LinkedIn. Hello. Uh, so near when the expert is here, मैं क्यों अपना टाइम लूं? Okay. And नियति, अभी भी क्या लगता है कि सेक्सुअल प्रॉब्लम्स कपल्स में डिस्कस करना कहीं ना कहीं टैबू है?
So let me begin with a big thank you, Jyoti. It's a wonderful opportunity for me to be on your LinkedIn profile and looking forward to a fabulous discussion between two counselors who are looking into this problem together. So, with your question, is it still necessary for couples to talk about this, or is it still a taboo? It is a
Hmm.
taboo. It is a taboo, and what evidence we have is the kind of counseling we both are doing. It's the kind of cases that come to us, even with our friends and family. We have seen this. So we make jokes out of it. हम मजाक मजाक में बहुत कुछ बोल देते हैं जो हम जैसे लोग तुरंत पकड़ते हैं कि ओ यहाँ प्रॉब्लम है. तो बहुत ही सारी प्रॉब्लम्स है सेक्सुअल रिलेशनशिप को लेके.
Hmm.
एंड दिस इज एवरीवेयर. इट्स ग्लोबल. इट्स नॉट जस्ट कि ये इंडिया में है या ऐसा कुछ. ग्लोबल है. ऑफ कोर्स प्रॉब्लम टू प्रॉब्लम थोड़ा डिफर होता है, लेकिन ये एक बड़ा प्रॉब्लम है और ये एक बहुत ही बड़ा टैबू है कि इसके बारे में कोई बात कैसे करे. सो टू आंसर योर क्वेश्चन, यस, इट्स स्टिल अ टैबू.
Yeah, so something now which is happening in bedroom, we are actually bringing to the boardroom, if I put it correctly. Okay. तो हम आप काफी सारी चीजों से या आपके सारे क्वेश्चंस से आपके सारे डाउट से पर्दे उठाने वाले हैं. Okay, so often when I get the clients, and the most evident part that we get is within the couple. I mean, we are talking about heterosexual, which is men and women, or rather live-in ho, marriage ho, whatever the companionship or partnership you be doing together. So here, the often question is, I don't want to have a sex anymore. It does not mean I don't love him. I'm not passionate about it. I am, but I don't want to have a sex anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
So how do we address
So
this?
सो फर्स्ट तो आई थिंक हम है ना यूजुअली सुनते हैं जो हम कोई दूसरा बोलता है, आई एम नॉट इंटरेस्टेड, आई डोंट वांट टू, बिकॉज को हम छोड़ देते हैं, समझने की कोशिश नहीं करते हैं. लेकिन ये जो डिनायल होता है, जो डिनाई कर देते हैं, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल हमारे कल्चर में, आई विल स्पेसिफिकली स्पीक अबाउट इंडिया एज वी आर वी हैव दैट काइंड ऑफ एन ऑडियंस ऑल्सो.
Yes.
पहली बात तो मैरिज इज एन अंडरलाइंड कॉन्ट्रैक्ट दैट वी हैव साइंड कि अब सेक्स लीगल हो गया है, ठीक है। तो वहीं पे एक
Cool.
अजम्पशन है, वहीं पे एक अजम्पशन है कि अब तो भैया सेक्स इज ओवरफ्लोइंग, ये तो अभी मिलेगा। तो
Hmm.
पहले पहले बहुत मजा आता है बिकॉज देर इज क्यूरियोसिटी, देर इज अ लॉट ऑफ कमिंग टुगेदर, बहुत प्यार होता है। फिर धीरे धीरे एज द लाइफ कैचेज अप, बच्चे हैं, रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज हैं, काम है, तो हमारा जो एक दूसरे में जो इंटरेस्ट होता है वो कम होता जाता है, लेकिन सेक्स की एक्सपेक्टेशन उतनी ही होती है। Now, the difference here, I will help you understand. The problem is, I don't want to have sex anymore, is not a one day statement. It is a very long, thought about, looked into, introspected, बहुत कुछ, बहुत टाइम लगता है ये बोलने को. सो देर इज अ बिगर प्रोसेस दैट हैज ऑलरेडी हैपेंड, एंड
Hmm.
देन वी आर टेलिंग आई डोंट वांट टू हैव सेक्स विद यू. और वर्बली तो यूजुअली बोलते नहीं है, सो जाएंगे जल्दी, आई एम टायर्ड, आई हैव अ
Hmm.
हेडेक. So there are excuses that we come up with. So this is
Hmm.
where I'm saying it is still a taboo कि हम नहीं बोलते हैं that I have some problem and let's sort it out, because of which I'm not able to connect with you. I cannot have sex with you and I want to. It's not like people who say I don't want to have sex with you are suddenly asexual. They want to have sex. But
Hmm.
we are not talking about what the problem is. So as you asked me, go ahead.
So, Niyati, when you said that there are non-verbal communication and there are clues, so let tell the audience now. Please tell the audience what kind of clues, because assumptions. There is a big assumptions that partner understand everything, and
Yeah.
actions are readable, but that's not happening, I believe. So, can you enlighten that also?
No, I would say it is. It is to a certain extent. Now there is a huge, diversification in our own culture where we have a little bit of urban population and we have a lot of rural population. So again, I am going to speak as much as possible in the diversity we have. So in urban audience that we have, we usually see that this is a bigger taboo. Rural me, there is more force, there is more hak jatana, like this is my right and I'm going to get it. If not with you, then somebody else. And there's a lot of underlying acceptance to go wherever you want to go. I'm not going to give you. So in rural villages or towns, there is a lot of having multiple partners and people being okay with it. Legally, it may not be allowed, but under the carpet, everything is happening.
Okay.
Urban, we make a big fuss out of this. We won't talk, we won't discuss, we won't give, we won't get, and then we are frustrated, then we are sad, we are lonely, and finally it comes to being in two different bedrooms. So I know so many couples where they are like, "ऐसे ही होता है." They've accepted it. It's like this only. So the non-verbal communication that you're talking about, one could be there's more. I have a headache today, not today. Then another day it'll be like, I am tired today. Third day, they'll get the children from their bedroom and make them sleep in their own bedroom between the couples, so you don't have to say anything. There's no
Oh,
excuse. Sometimes it could be, I am on my periods. Sometimes it could be, there's a lot of stress on my mind from work. I don't want to. So they can come up with a lot of excuses. And finally, when the excuses are dying and you don't have anything more to tell, suddenly you will keep quiet, turn around, sleep early, or you will just shrug from your shoulder, or you'll just take away the hand. So there is a lot of nonverbal communication that happens between a couple where they say that don't want to give it to you. So not every, and verbal to वैसे भी we don't use words to express. So there's more non-verbal than the verbal, and there's more of giving excuses rather than actually telling them there's a problem.
got it.
Yeah.
Got it. I think that's where the term comes sleeping partner, no? So in the long term, you become sleeping
Sleeping
partners.
partner.
Sleeping partners. They're just people who next to sleep each other. That's it.
Yeah, we're more roommates than actual sexual
Couple.
partners.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very true, very true, very true. Okay. Uh, I often seen that couple are very afraid of experiments,
Yeah.
and this that can be anything, like anil or the better terms. But a lot of people, even coming on the top, woman itself still has a hesitation. So submissive, dominant, whatever the terms we use. Uh, can you highlight those, or can you little bit explain how this works? And
So, one, as I said, sex is taken for granted in a married couple specifically, and non-married couple there is still some element of wanting to be together. So they are two
hmm,
different types of couples completely. So
hmm,
let me first focus on the marital, because we are, the topic is sexual problems in marriages. So here what is happening is it becomes only about having sex and gratifying oneself. That's one. तो हमारे orgasm पे focus होता है.
hmm,
In our culture specifically, there's a lot of openness from a man's point of view, like from man's side. They are absolutely open to just go for it, get the orgasm, ejaculate, either, and then be okay with it, because that is the goal. For women specifically, it becomes a game of connection. Connection
hmm,
hota nahi hai. Woman is not heard. She's not emotionally connected. The partner is not emotionally connected with her. So those become the reason of it's becoming boring. So this I am bored is a very big reason that I have seen. अब boring हो गया है, बस हो गया, अभी और नहीं चाहिए. And
hmm,
especially a woman's body also responds differently before children and after children. So somewhere in her mind she's done, her job is done, that okay मुझे दो बच्चे हो गए, I don't see the need to connect with you and have sex. The relationship can be still the same, लेकिन वो बच्चा चाहिए, at least there's a motivation to have sex.
okay,
After that it's boring. You don't look after my orgasm, you don't wait for me to be satisfied, you're not connecting with me emotionally. So there are multiple reasons where there is no motivation for the woman to be in that relationship with you. तो हो गए बच्चे, बस हो गया, अब क्या, अब तो हम बड़े हो गए, ये भी एक नया डायलॉग है, अब तो बस हो गया, अब तो हम बड़े हो गए हैं, अब ये सब शोभा नहीं देता, those kind of
so
things
age
are also
factor.
on the plate. Age
Yeah, age
factor,
factors.
but it's an excuse. So actually, there is no age factor as such. If your mind is open, if you
Hmm,
understand what sex can do to you, even as an individual, not
hmm,
only to the relationship with your partner, but even as an individual, you will understand how powerful a sexual relationship is. And if
hmm,
you go from that understanding after educating yourself, you will
hmm,
not want to stay away from sex. And good sex with good relationship with a good partner, because what
hmm,
quality means everything. It's not the number of times you've orgasmed, it's
hmm,
how you have connected to somebody and how you're connecting to your own sexual energy. तो ये
hmm,
सारा एक एक जंबल है जो at the end of the day it's not allowing people to come together.
true.
Yeah, so the experiment that you're asking, अब जब इंटरेस्ट ही नहीं है तो एक्सपेरिमेंट्स कहाँ से होंगे?
Hmm,
और वो इंटरेस्ट ना होने के जो कारण है, द ऑल द रीजंस बिकॉज ऑफ विच द पार्टनर इज नॉट इंटरेस्टेड इन यू, यू नॉट
hmm,
एड्रेसिंग देम.
hmm,
And I'm talking for both man and wife, one man and woman both. If your partner is not okay with certain things, at the end of it your sexual relationship will suffer. So if you don't address the other issues that are pending, because of which the effect is on your sexual relationship, you will not be able to connect back with your partner. So whether it is emotional connect, whether it is children, whether it is stress, whether it's your in-laws, whether it's bored, whether it's taken for granted, whether she's not satisfied, whether he's not getting what he wants,
hmm,
address it. Address that. And then पहले तो be okay with sex, and then the level comes to experimenting. So for
okay.
all those couples who are okay with each other, another
Hmm,
thing happens is we are not creative. We don't allow our creative self to come out and say, आज कुछ अलग करते हैं. What can we do? And then think of something. We'll go
huh,
to porn.
hmm,
We'll go to porn. वहां मिल जाएगा. It's like a child's project. अगर स्कूल में किसी बच्चे को चाइल्ड का, आई मीन चिल्ड्रन को प्रोजेक्ट मिल गया, तो पहला वो बच्चा कहता है चलो गूगल करो, खुद नहीं सोचना है हमें कुछ.
बिल्कुल
क्रिएटिविटी
बिल्कुल.
खुद नहीं निकालनी है. मदर्स आर ऑल्सो लाइक टाइम कहाँ है, गूगल करके डिजाइन ढूंढ ले. It's like that. It's become like, okay, um, let's go to porn and let's see what they are doing, and then we'll try something. Not
Hmm,
that it's bad, but I would still prefer that you both come up with something. Think of what else can be done. Change your rooms, change your positions, and it could be weird position. You can laugh about it on the bed while you're trying something. That also brings in a lot of closeness. Masti karo, hasso, baate karo, talk to one another, laugh about it. Try doing different things. And if you feel that your arousal is coming down, go back to your old ways, get yourself aroused again. Again, try something different. There's so much in the house that you can use as toys, and experiment with it. वो chocolate को लेके बर्फ को
So,
लेके अटक मत जाओ.
hmm.
Use stuff.
So, toys are safe, right? Because कहीं ना सेक्स इटसेल्फ एक तो ये बचपन से आई थिंक कहीं ना कहीं कल्टीवेट किया गया है हमारे माइंड में कि सेक्स इज बैड.
Yeah, yeah,
ओवरऑल कंसेप्ट एंड सेक्स इज बैड. ऊपर से टॉयज, ये तो वेस्टर्न कल्चर है. हाउ कैन वी, हाउ सेफ इट इज?
yeah.
बट एज पर योर सेक इट्स एब्सोल्युटली सेफ एंड इट्स ओके. तुम्हारे ईगो पे मत लो टॉयज. यूजिंग टॉयज इट्स नॉट ईगो. दैट डज नॉट मीन दैट यू आर नॉट सैटिस्फाइंग
No,
ईच अदर.
that's true. That's true. But at the same time, you also have to be very educated about what toy you're using and how it can change your sexual intensity if
Hmm.
you are using it regularly. So
Okay.
if you are, see, I'll tell you something. Anything that you have once experienced for a while, you will want to heighten your stimulation. You always want to go to the next level. फिर
True.
वो जीतना हो तो हम कभी डिस्ट्रिक्ट लेवल पे खुश नहीं होंगे. देन यू वांट टू गो टू स्टेट, देन यू वांट टू गो टू नेशनल.
Hmm.
सिमिलरली एक छोटे चॉकलेट से शुरू करेंगे, देन यू वांट अ बिगर बार. Every time something that makes you happy, you want it more, you want it intensified. Similarly with sex, if you're using vibrators, especially for women, if you're using vibrators on your clitoris, understand that regular using of that will numb your nerves somewhere or the other. You will want something that's even more intense. Where are you going to look for all of that? So relax a little bit, give yourself some time and use the old ways, go slow, because all that will keep you in the game. Otherwise, you'll constantly look for these things of, you know, intensifying, making it even more, you just want to feel it even more. And that then translates into a lot of things that then at finally you'll be like, nothing's working. I'm becoming numb. So that is something you should be aware about with the toys also.
So, Niyati, there are two or three more questions we got during the kind of conversation. First of all, is the woman organisms are normal?
Women orgasm is as normal as a male orgasm. Both or can orgasm, both must orgasm.
Good one. Okay. Second one, which we receive is the person while having intercourse, okay, has a tendency of laughing out largely. So, and the partner sometimes get offended at the if the person is he's like, "Am I tickling you?" But we are into a passionate relationship. So, why this is happening and how to handle it?
ओके, यस इट इज ट्रू कि अगर कोई हंस पड़ा तो हम थोड़ा ऑफेंस ले लेते हैं कि इसमें हंसने वाली कौन सी बात है. लेकिन आप सामने हंस दो और पूछो कि ऐसा क्या हुआ जो तुझे फनी लग रहा है, एंड शेयर द जोक, दैट कैन एक्चुअली इंटेंसिफाई एंड अराउज यू इवन मोर. So if your partner is feeling ticklish, you're trying to be very passionate and you're rubbing ice on the body, and at some point the partner kind of get tickles and like is laughing, laugh more and tickle her or him more. Look into how it is heightening their experience. Be a part of that joke rather than saying कि मैंने ऐसा क्या कर दिया जो तुम्हें funny लग रहा है. So sometimes it could be just simply asking for it. Now this usually the offense is taken mostly in the pre the early relationship where you still don't know your partner very well. And in case if one partner says that some raunchy thing or some cheesy line they've used, and you start laughing over it. So rather than saying, "Hey, you're making fun of me, you're mocking me," you could say, "Don't like this cheesy line, can I use another?" So make it more interesting, take it in your stride rather than just feeling offended with it. Till your partner says, "I don't want to," don't take offense. Don't, and like, I don't want to have sex with you. Till then, don't take offense. I don't want to do this, but this, move, shift, experiment. But it's okay. It's fun to laugh around. It's fun to be that light self. And it's not, passion doesn't mean you become serious. It's not a board exam. I can just put it that way. It's an ongoing relationship, and humor can be one of the best things to have in a relationship.
So, Niyati, here is your next question. What are the endogenous zones for women?
So, we have termed these very generally observed zones, which are erogenous for women. Now, since the question is about women, I know women who get aroused when her partner licks her armpit. I know of women who gets aroused when her neck is touched. I know of women who get aroused when she's tickled. I know women who gets aroused when her partner paints her nails. Forget even touching sexually, paints her nails. So there are a lot of different things that women do get aroused with. We feel it is only the reproductive body parts. Either you grab her breasts, or you play with her nipples, or you rub her clitoris, or you play with her pussy. It's not like that. There are many, many, many other things that you can try. So that is where the experimenting comes in. Sometimes just whisper something in her ear and see how she feels about it. Sometimes behind the ears is a good spot. Sometimes at the little back of the neck is a good spot. Sometimes literally at the back of her neck is comb her hair, kiss her lightly at the back of the neck. These could be the romantic moments, with moments which suddenly the woman will also realize that I didn't know, because she can't kiss herself there, right? So when somebody else is doing it to her, she realizes that I have many more areas where I can really feel the arousal. So go for it. Inner thighs is also one of the erogenous zones, but these are on the body. Now there are many zones which are in the organs, for example, the vagina. So vagina also has different spots. For example, if we just talk about G spot, G spot is not that one spot that every woman, though high inch inside the vagina on the top. Not necessarily. It's actually the clitoris that you are stimulating. When you go in and you are stimulating the top part of the vagina, it's actually the hood of the clitoris you are stimulating. Sometimes it could be the shaft of the clitoris. I don't know if everybody knows how the clitoris is, but if you can just look at some diagrams. So it also could be let me put it in a simple language, like legs of the clitoris. Sometimes maybe it's the side of the vagina that, she feels erogenous, in that area. Sometimes it could be the cervix all the way. So there are many, many zones. So don't concentrate on any one which you might read in articles or so वो है ना सिर्फ दो तीन जन से बात करके आर्टिकल लिख देते हैं. It's not like it's studied and surveyed and people are talking about their zones. So experiment them.
Very well put, Niyati. I mean, I think a lot of people get to know about it. So, guys, if you have any more questions, please shoot. We are here to answer. Meanwhile, what can people do for their rekindling their sex life? Rather, put it this way now.
Uh, so let me put it this way, Jyoti. There are very few things that you actually need to do, but they are very intense, if I put it that way. One, to begin, is talk to one another. Now, when I mean talk to one another, it doesn't mean talk about your children, talk about your day, talk about each other without a third factor in between. No in-laws, no parents, no work, no colleagues, no friends, no children, nothing. Just about one another, of how I experienced something, how I felt, what are my thoughts, and that way. Now, coming back to the sexual relationship we have, you can always compliment one another and say, I really liked what you did. Mention the what, I really liked it when you did this to me, or it really tickled when you did this to me. I would love to for you to do it again to me. So talk like that. How about doing it this way next time? Or I am looking forward to doing something different with you. So talk to one another about this topic. Talk about how one can satisfy the other, not only from the orgasm point of view, but even what are the other things that a partner would want to experience. One, so talk to one another. Two, please ask questions. Take consent. Sometimes, a lot of times, people don't take consent from their partner that, are you okay if I try this or if I do this? So ask questions, not only from the consent point of view, but generally ask questions. Did you like it? Would you mind doing it again? Would you do this to me? Is there something on your mind? What is your fantasy? Can I help you, satisfy it? So ask more questions to your partner. Most important third point is be very open to the idea of being a sexual being. You are a sexual being, most of us are, because I'm saying most because there are people who naturally don't have the sexual energy also. They are called asexual people, and they don't feel sexual at all. There is no desire, there is no want, there is no feeling of being sexual or having that sexual energy, but most of us are. So be open to that idea that yes, I am a sexual being. I want sex, I deserve sex, and I'm going to get it. So be open to the idea of having a sexual relationship. Experiment, as we were discussing. Connect emotionally also with your partner, whether it's man or wife. Emotion is not only a dominant factor for women. Even men are emotional, and it's amazing to see how men also get disturbed when the emotions are lacking. So please just connect emotionally and physically with your partner. Flirt, please flirt. Flirt with your partner. Spend more in foreplaying. So I cannot emphasize this more. Please see, sex does not start by grabbing each other's body and orgasm. That's not what sex is. Sex starts here. It starts with the way you express. It starts with the time you spend creating the atmosphere. वो गाड़ी को ignition देना पड़ता ही है. You have to spend some time to ensure that both partners are fully aroused. And that always cannot happen just by grabbing each other's body parts. This is one of the complaints women have, being very honest about it, that my partners just straight come on to me and they just grab, and they think that I'm going to get aroused that way, but I don't. So talk to your partner about or just try different things, so please spend time in foreplay and be creative. Don't always turn to pornography for education, and meet your partner's expectations, not again from the sexual point of view, but even the emotional point of view. So these are a few things that you can try. Few bola hai, lekin bahut kuch kaam hai isme. There's a lot
बहुत
of work
बहुत
to be done.
So
Yes.
Niyatii, we got let's do a quick rapid fire because we got couple of questions. Shoot, 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 shoot.
Sure,
There
sure,
people are watching on YouTube
sure.
also. So I'm showing it here. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, so there is a question. Whenever I try to have a sex with my partner, she says she's not
Yes.
interested at all, and she's like, okay. So
Yeah,
how
so
can
there
she?
could be a medical condition, dear listener. Please make sure that you have gone and done a physical examination by a doctor, by a gynac. So ensure that everything is in place. So there are a few reasons. There are psychological reasons also. There are physiological reasons also. It could be a tightened hymen. It could be fear of penetration, which is psychological. Hymen is physiological. It could be simple, maybe she's not lubricated enough, and when you try to penetrate, she feels the rash or the hurt because she's dry. So that also could be one of the reasons. So to make sure that to at least understand what the reason is, and then you can treat it. So make sure that you have physically examined her first, and then if physically she's fine, then you can look into the psychological aspect, and you can get in touch with counselors and educators like us who tend to these topics, and we'll definitely help you out.
Next question is sexual relationship depends on eating habits. Interesting.
It does not depend on eating habit, but definitely there's an influence. Um, mm, some influence. Not unless you are absolutely, you are eating food which constantly keeps you in that space. Then yes, it will help you. But I wouldn't emphasize so much. But yes, there is an influence.
Is first time usually painful for a woman?
No, it won't be if lubrication is taken care of. If you understand, if the partner understands, and she herself also, it's her responsibility too to make sure that she's ready for it mentally. She knows that it's going to happen and looking forward to it. Sometimes mentally knowing also can be fear. Oh, ab hoga, now it's going to happen, now it's going to happen. So she has to be readily open for it, and she has to be lubricated enough, then it won't be painful for her unless she has a very thickened hymen. That could be one of the reason. And again, as we discussed before, if there is any other psychological factor to it, it can be painful for her. But in general, no.
Wow. I think that answered a couple of questions, and they're gonna have more and more. But guys, Niyati will be happily able to help you. You just need to connect to her one on one, or you can drop up your questions after this live. Whatever she can answer, she will able to answer it in the comments. And thank you so much, Niyati. I think आज काफी पर्दे उठ गए.
I hope so. I hope so. I really, really
Absolutely.
hope so.
And it was wonderful, because some things even I'm not aware when it comes to sexual or coming to your partners. But I think you have enlightened us and giving a different perspective. Ki, sex is not a taboo or something to be afraid of, but I think it's okay. Okay, I mean, go ahead, enjoy as a passion or a pleasure.
Yes.
Uh, One more last question. You would like to go
I
ahead?
was reading that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
So,
showing it.
yeah, what if a girl who doesn't get satisfied after having proper connect and partner tried best to make to feel it? It is it any issues with that female partner, or is it common? So I think if you are that woman, then we will have to figure out where the issue is. Again, as I said, sometimes the society makes us feel that your partner is so taking so much care of you, your partner is there for you, then why are you not feeling the same? Every human being has a different way to connect with their partner. Every human being, so you may be emotionally connected, the partner may be giving, they may be respectful, they may be taking care of you, but for you, your intimacy arousal happens when they have an intellectual conversation with you. It's an example I'm giving. If that is not there, then you won't feel it. You won't feel the connect. So whoever this person is needs to speak to somebody who understands what are the different ways a person connects, where the lack is, because it could be multiple things. So the best thing for a person, a girl like this, should be going to a professional and figuring it out where the problem is. It's not common. It's only common because most of the girls feel it's my duty to give sex to my partner. So if he's taking care of me physically, financially, if he's there to provide for me, I should be able to give sex to him. But it doesn't work in reality. It's not like that. They give it, they fake orgasm, and after a while, as we say, after kids or something, and after a few years, it becomes a sexless marriage. So it's better to address it now than have 20, 30 years of your life where you will miss the sexual relationship.
Very, very, very truly said, Niyati.
Yeah,
Niyati, if there are any more questions, how the viewers can
we'll
get
take
in
it
touch with
later.
you?
Yes, let's do
Uh,
that.
just give your quick handler so they will able to get in touch with you.
Okay, my name is already typed here. It's Niyati with a double I, Niyati and Shah, and you should be able to find me everywhere. Or just Google me, and you should be able to read a lot of stuff, find me on different platforms. And Jyoti, let me take this quick 5 seconds to say a big thank you once again for allowing me to reach out to so many people more. And I hope I've been useful and given some perspective. And have a great life, guys.
Yeah. Thank you so much for being here today with us. Thank you,
Pleasure.
and